everyone, my name is Kimberly and welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I am someone who loves makeup and who loves to show women, especially women over 50, how to apply makeup to get a nice look that they can wear every day or otherwise. Today I'm going to be doing an everyday makeup look that you can wear to work. Not a whole lot on the eyes and not necessarily a whole lot on the face. Very easy, not colorful. Like I said, something that anybody can do to wear to work every day. And so if you're interested in seeing this look, then keep on watching. So I've already applied my skincare, my moisturizer, sunscreen, and serums. And if you're interested in that, then just let me know in the comments down below, and I can list what I used on my face. So now I'm going to start off with my face. I'm not going to start with my brows this time. I'm going to start off with my face, and I'm going to just spray my face with the Wet n Wild Photofocus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer water. This is a nice moisturizing primer, and I just kind of do that just to refresh my face. I have been up for a little while, and so just to bring just to add another layer of moisture to my face. Let that dry. So now for my primers today, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Matte Primer and the Benefit Professional Primer. The Benefit Professional Primer I'm going to put in the on the middle part of my face where I have large pores, as well as on my forehead where I have some lines. And I find when I use this in these areas that the application of my foundation tends to be a lot smoother. I'm also going to use it on my smile lines so that my foundation will not settle into those lines. And now I'm going to apply the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer on the remaining areas of my face. The purpose of a primer is to give you a better canvas for your foundation. Primers can help to smooth out the texture on your skin. It can fill in pores and fine lines, and can sometimes give you an extra layer of moisture on your face. One thing I do want to mention, since I already had my skincare on, I do want to mention that once you put your skincare on, don't go directly in with your primer or foundation. You want to give your moisturizer and serums at least about 10 minutes to soak into the skin before you put anything on it. This will allow your primer and anything you put on after that to apply more smoothly, and you get a better finish when you do that. So I'm going to do something a little different today. Today I'm going to, because I've had a breakout in the last 2 weeks or so, I'm going to apply some concealer to this area here on my face where I have where I've had some bumps. And although I didn't pick those bumps, I don't normally pick my bumps, it did leave some darkness there. So I'm going to apply the e.l.f. Hydrating concealer, and this one is in Deep Chestnut. Guys, I apologize for holding that upside down. I didn't realize that I was holding it upside down. I did want to mention that although the concealer looks quite orange in the video, once I set it with my setting powder and I apply my foundation, you won't be able to see that area at all. And the reason I'm setting it is so that once I apply my foundation, this concealer won't move. The other areas of discoloration, the hyperpigmentation over here, is going to be covered up with my foundation today. So I'm not going to worry about color correcting all of that. That's a large area to try to color correct. So what I usually try to do is just use a foundation that has enough coverage to, or has buildable coverage where I can just cover that with my foundation. So next, like I said, I'm going to set that concealer with powder. Today I'm using the Black Opal Invisible Oil Blotting Powder. I'm just going to pour a little bit into the container. This is going to be the same powder that I use to set my foundation once I've applied my foundation. So I'm just going to take some on my e.l.f. This is just an e.l.f. blush brush. I like this tapered end when I put on powder. I use this same brush to put on to set my concealer under my eyes. So I'm just going to set that area really well. That way I'm setting it with powder so that once I put my foundation on, this concealer won't be wiped off, and I'll maintain my coverage right there. I'm also going to set this other area where I applied concealer. There. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer, with my foundation. The foundation that I'm using today is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation, and the color that I'm using is Warm Mahogany. Warm Mahogany is just a little warm for me, but I find that once I conceal under my eyes, it kind of it brightens it up, and it evens it out a little bit. So I'm going to put 2 pumps on my hand. This foundation does have really good coverage. I'm going to take some on my Real Techniques. This is just an expert face brush, and I'm just going to start applying that to my face. I start on the inside because for me, that is where I need the most coverage. And so I start right under my eyes on the inside of my face. Guys, the website says about this foundation that it is shockingly lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented. Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation is our full coverage classic foundation that hustles as hard as you do. This comfy, long-wearing, waterproof liquid comes in a wide range of flattering tones. Every creamy liquid shade glides on smooth, delivering matte coverage that stays true up to 24 hours. This overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long. It is non-comedogenic and suitable for normal, oily combination and sensitive skin types. It's also vegan. So I find it to be full coverage, as it does cover the hyperpigmentation on my face very well. There. Now that I have applied my foundation, I am going to apply my concealer. I am using another e.l.f. concealer. This concealer is also in Deep Chestnut, except this one is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And I know that this Deep Chestnut looks different from the Hydrating concealer, which I didn't understand, but it still, I guess because of the undertone, it still tends to work. I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. The lighting outside the sun is going in and out there. So I'm going to be applying the concealer under my eyes, around my mouth, like under my nose and on my chin, down the center of my nose and on my forehead. And I'll be blending it out with my e.l.f. concealer sponge. And I'm going to try as much as possible under my eyes to keep the concealer right there where I placed it. If you notice, I'm going to be squeezing the sponge so that it's as narrow as possible to keep that concealer from traveling up the side of my nose. And right here, I was just talking about a bug that I saw in the room. That bug had been there for at least a week, hanging on the curtain, and it finally decided to move. So now that I noticed him, I was bent on killing him and just trying to make sure that he didn't fly down where I was, because I can't stand bugs. All right, so I have all of that blended out. And now I'm going to apply my, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. matte setting powder, And I can't remember whether this has a color, but all of the products that I use today are going to be listed down below. So if this had a color, I will list it down below. All right, guys, so again, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. matte setting powder, and I'm just going to tap some into the top of the container. And then I'm going to take my sponge, my e.l.f. concealer sponge, and press it into the powder. I'm going to tap the sponge onto my hand to get rid of the excess, and then I'll go in under my eyes to start setting that concealer. And I find that this powder works just as nicely as my Laura Mercier powder to set my concealer. That's my daughter Hannah. She did come in to visit, and to let you guys know to give my video a thumbs up and to tell you that you're amazing and to thank you for your support. She's such a ham. Now I'm going to set all around my mouth, making sure to set the area where my smile lines are. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing out in that area with my tongue so that I can make sure that I get the powder into those lines so that the foundation won't settle there over the course of the day. I'm also going to set the small area of my forehead that I highlighted with concealer. And now I'm going to take my powder brush to wipe that powder away. I don't usually bake because I find that it causes my face to look too dry. This powder is very mattifying, so you don't have to leave it on very long for it to set your face nicely. And it will give you a matte finish, but through the course of the day, that will the oils will mix in, and you'll get a nice finish on your foundation. So now I'm going to take that e.l.f. mattifying setting powder and just highlight the center of my nose as well as that center part of my forehead. For the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Black Opal Invisible Blocking Powder. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that fluffy brush that I used before, dip it into the powder. I'm going to tap it off and then stipple that onto the side of my face, onto the perimeter, the perimeter of my face where I didn't highlight. Once I have stippled it, then I'm just going to take that brush and blend it in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other areas of my face where I did not highlight. And the reason that I'm doing that is because if I just went in and started buffing with the brush, it would disturb my foundation. And so what I want to do is I want to stipple that powder on first to set the foundation, and then I can buff the powder in to get almost a less powdery finish, or a more natural finish. As natural as you can be with makeup on. All right, so I'm gonna leave this strip on my nose for a little while so that that part of my face can stand out. And while it's there, I'm going to take and this is just a foundation, just an eyeshadow, an eye blending brush. I'm gonna take this, actually no, I'm gonna do my brows next. So to do my brows, I'm going to use my Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in Bangin Brunette. I did find that I had one more. They still have not come back in stock, and I guess I'm feeling like they're just not going to bring those back on Colourpop. But this is the best pencil that I have found to use in the drugstore price range. This pencil is $6. I know that the way I found this was that it was a dupe for the Anastasia brow pencil. And I want to say it also was a dupe for the Benefit brow pencil. I'm not sure which one. And because I was looking for a more inexpensive version, that's when I found this one. One that is a good pencil too is the NYX. I think this is a NYX Micro brow pencil. I think that's what it's called. I'll put it in the description box below, but this is a good pencil too. It's not quite as soft as the Colourpop, and the Colourpop is not soft in a bad way. It has a very fine point, just like the NYX pencil. They both have very fine points, but I find that this one, I just really like the way this one really, I'm able to get the type of brow that I like. And honestly, it's not called a precision brow pencil for nothing. It is you can get very precise with this brow pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do my brows. And I'm gonna speed through this part because if you've seen me do my brows in my other videos, so I'm just gonna speed through this part. All right, and you can do as much or as little on your brows as you want. Usually I tend to have to do a little bit more because I don't have the ends of my brows don't grow in, and so I have to add that, and then I fill in the rest of it. But for you, if you have pretty strong brows and you're happy, you know, you keep them groomed and you're happy the way your brows look, then you don't have to do all that I did. But if your brows are sparse and you like to fill them in or shape them up a little bit, the NYX brow pencil is a really good brow pencil. Like I said, it's not quite as soft, to me, in my opinion. It's not quite as soft as the Colourpop, but because the Colourpop is still out of stock, this is a great alternative. The NYX brow pencil, the NYX micro brow pencil. So to clean up my brows on the bottom, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn. Just going to put a little bit of that on the back of my hand. And I'm going to take my my angled eye brush from Sigma. And I'm going to clean up underneath my brows. And in case you didn't know, you know, I know a lot of people know already, but that's what highlighting does. Highlighting usually brings out that part of your face, that part of your face that the sun would naturally fall on and would be that part that would be brought out by the sun. And so that is usually the purpose. The purpose of highlighting and contour is to add shadows or to get rid of shadows in certain places or whatever. So like when you see people contouring here, is to add a shadow to give their face a certain shape. Or like when I mentioned contouring here, it's to give my nose a certain a shape or to give my nose some dimension. That's what that is. So I've cleaned up my brows and with my concealer. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my spoolie again and I'm just gonna kind of blend out the ends of my brows, just to kind of give them that tapered look. I don't want them to be quite so harsh on the end. All right, now that I've finished my brows, I'm going to take that eyeshadow shading brush, and I'm just going to take my my Maybelline Fit Me powder in Coconut. This is a deeper color, and I'm just going to take that in there, and I'm going to contour my my nose. I'm just gonna take it down here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and now I'm not going to put on eyeshadow, a lot of eyeshadow. I'm just going to contour my eyes, and when I say that, I'm just going to take a deep neutral color and put it in the crease of my eye. So I'm going to go into the Colourpop Going Coconuts palette. Sorry if it's hard to see that. Like I said, the light is doing something kind of funky, and my background is silver, and it's just creating all kinds of issues. So I'm going to take the colors Shell Yeah and Nutty. I'm just going to take both of those, and that is these two colors here, this and this. I'm going to dip into both of those, and I'm going to just take that into the crease. So I ended up going in with just Nutty. Nutty was deep enough where Shell Yeah didn't even show up. And this is just to add dimension to my eye. I'm using a BH Cosmetics Fluffy Blending Brush for this step. So it just kind of gives my eyes some dimension. Then I'm going to take this blending brush from Sigma Cosmetics. This is just a regular fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to buff around the top edge of that shadow, just to blend it out there. And this is also I'm going to go into just this light color here in my Going Coconuts palette. It's called Gelato. That color right there. I'm gonna go into that a little bit and apply it to my use this to blend out around the top part of that shadow, and to set the concealer on my brow bone. So now that I've done that, I'm going to take the color in the palette, Cocoa Crush, which is this glittery color in the middle. I'm going to take this small detail brush from Sigma, I'm not sure what the number is, and I'm just going to tap into that Cocoa Crush color, and I'm going to apply it to the inner corner of my eye, just to give a little shimmery pop here. And I'm not going to take a lot, because that shimmery color. It is shimmery, super shimmery. I am taking it up just a little bit. All right. I'm going to take my fluffy powder brush and remove that powder off the middle of my nose. And also I'm going to wipe off whatever shimmer fell on my face when I put that inner corner color on. Now I'm going to take the Haus Labs eyeliner in, I think it's called in Punk, which is just a deep black color. And I'm gonna place, I'm gonna put some eyeliner on. Now this is where you can get fancy if you want. If you want to do a wing, you can. I'm gonna do a wing, but you definitely don't have to. So I'm starting my wing on the outer corner. I'm just drawing that line up toward my eyebrow, and then I'm connecting it to my eyelid, and then I'm filling it in, and then I'm taking that line all the way to the inner corner of my eye. This is one time where it did seem to go a little smoother. It does not always go this smooth for me for some reason, and it has taken a lot of practice for me to be able to perfect or even slightly perfect my wing eyeliner. Okay, came out pretty even. I'm very pleased with myself. So before I put my mascara on, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face. And so to bronze, I'm gonna use my CoverGirl Queen bronzer in Ebony Bronze. I have been watching some other videos, and I have seen where there have been a lot of nice highlighters that have come out for brown skin. Makeup Revolution has some, Morphe has some. I know that Rihanna's line has some bronzers that are nice for our skin tone. And so because CoverGirl does not carry this any longer, you can get a bronzer that is similar. We have Prime Beauty. I'll try to look at, I'll try to do some research and maybe put some down in my description box that you can choose from high end all the way down to drugstore, because there are lots and lots of brown girl friendly bronzers that you can use. But I'm just going to take this Real Techniques buffing brush and dip it into my bronzer and just bronze my face. So guys, I did go ham with the bronzer, and while I'm editing the video, I did notice that it ended up a little heavy. I do love bronzer and blush, and so that's the reason that it looks that way, because I did go in a little heavy with it. For my highlighter today, I'm going to be using the Laura Geller New York highlighter in Gilded Honey. And again, the highlighter is just to do exactly that, highlight the high points of my face. So I'm going to be putting it up here on the high points of my cheek. I'm going to take it around to where my brow bone is to bring that area out. I'm trying not to get it where the bumps are. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Then I'm going to take a little bit, and this is just something that I like to do. Highlight my Cupid's bow, just to accentuate it, and highlight the tip of my nose. Now I know some people highlight here on their forehead. I highlight a little bit up there, just to kind of give a glow. I don't do that too much because I have so much texture there. So I usually don't do that a lot. Now for my blush, I'm going to be using a blush from the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1 from Juvia's Place, and I'm going to use the color Neo. And it's this pretty burnt, kind of rusty color there. I'm starting at the back here by my temples, and I'm bringing it forward. What I'm doing is I am kind of mixing it in with the blush, connecting it to the blush, so that color is that blend of colors is seamless. And I am one that I really love blush. So it just adds some color and some healthy color to your face. I'm going to put my mascara on. The mascara that I'm using today is the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. And it is in black. It's not the waterproof. This is the mascara that I would use for every day for work. So I'm going to go in with the mascara on my bottom lashes first. This is always a good idea, as when you put mascara on the top lashes, if you try to go in on your bottom lashes after that, you could get mascara on your eyelid as you're looking up. So it's always a good idea to put your bottom lash mascara on first. So as I'm doing my top lash mascara, I'm trying to get as close to the base of my lashes as possible, just to deepen that area and give my lashes a fuller look. And so that's my mascara. Now, the final piece of the makeup look is the lipstick. I am going to be using the Maybelline matte lipstick. I think it's Color Statement matte lipstick. I know it's kind of blinding you, but this one is in Matte Tease, which is a deep burgundy color. Oh, it is so beautiful. And I still love their matte lipsticks, even though I know people are not talking about them anymore on YouTube or anything. They're still very good, a very good inexpensive matte lipstick. It's moisturizing, it doesn't dry out. They're very opaque, they last a long time, you know, as long as a lipstick can, but it does do a very good job of lasting on your lips. So I'm just gonna apply this. And I don't have to use a lip liner or anything like that. That's for me because I have pretty full lips, and so I don't tend to need a lip liner when I use deep colors like this. I don't usually have a problem with colors bleeding from the outside of my lips or anything like that. And so this is like I said, it's a very nice lipstick, and I used this deep color because I figured everything else was so neutral, and this just gives the makeup a little bit of drama. It just gives the makeup look a little bit of drama without having to do a whole lot. So yeah, so guys, this is the finished look. I really hope you like it. I hope you try it. You don't have to have all of the same products that I have. But you know, I believe that this is achievable for anybody that wants to take a little bit of time in the morning to put the makeup on. Of course, you know, when I put this on, it probably takes me about 20 minutes, maybe 30. And so it doesn't, to me, it doesn't take that long. There are certainly steps that you can leave out if you don't feel like you need to do them, like the highlighting or the or so much attention to the brows. But again, this is what I do because I love makeup, and I just love the artistry, as much of the artistry as I can do of it. So if you have any questions, please put your questions or comments down below in the comments. I will have all the products listed in the description box. Please subscribe. Please share my video if you know other women over 40 or 50 that have that want to be able to do makeup but are not sure if they can do something that entails all of this and have it come out looking nice. We certainly can. You know, it doesn't have to be a whole lot. So guys, again, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you guys tuning into my channel. Please, again, subscribe, share, like my video, and I will see you guys in the next video. So long.